Welcome to Constructive Talks. We are glad you are here. Today we are stepping into a real conversation, and I mean a real one. Not a surface conversation. Not a conversation where we blame one group and walk away feeling like we solved something. We are asking a serious question today. Who is really helping the child?
That question hits hard, Jane. Many say they care, but who truly helps, steadily? A lot of people will say they care about children. A whole lot of people will say they care about the future. A whole lot of people will say they care about education. But when you ask who is actually helping the child in real ways, in steady ways, in visible ways, that gets quiet quick.
Right? It's not just talk. It's about who shows up, who notices, who follows up early. This is not just about who talks about children. It is about who is showing up for them, who is noticing them, who is following up, who is helping them before things get bad enough to become obvious to everybody else.
Exactly. Kids are shaped daily, whether adults intend it or not. Learning never stops. Children are being shaped every day, whether adults are intentional or not. That's the part people miss. People act like if they are not doing something, then nothing is happening. No, something is always happening. The child is always learning something. The child is always absorbing something.
True. Kids learn from home, school, peers, social media, silence. Everything shapes them. That child is learning at home, at school, from peers, from social media, from silence, from tension, from support, from neglect, from being seen, from being ignored. The child is always being shaped. So if adults are not building support intentionally, other forces are shaping that child by default.
And sadly, those influences aren't always kind. Sometimes they bring confusion or neglect. And those forces are not always kind.
Yes, kids often survive where growth isn't nurtured, reacting to unstable environments. Not at all. Sometimes those forces are confusion. Sometimes they are peer pressure. Sometimes it is emotional neglect. Sometimes it is overexposure. Sometimes it is adult frustration. Sometimes it is instability. Sometimes it is the child just learning how to survive in environments that are not really built to help them grow well.
That's why this talk matters now. Adults feel something's off, parents, teachers, communities. Because people can feel that something is off, but they do not always know how to say it. Teachers feel it, parents feel it, caregivers feel it, even people in the community feel it. They can see children struggling, withdrawing, acting out, disconnecting, and they know something is happening, but they do not always know how to name the full picture.
But when we can't name the problem fully, blame takes over, and that changes nothing. And too often, when people do not know how to name the full picture, they go to blame.
So true. We blame parents, schools, society, or even the kids themselves, but blame builds no bridges. Yep, they blame parents, they blame schools, they blame teachers, they blame society, they blame the internet, they blame the child. And some of those factors are real, but blame by itself does not build anything.
Meanwhile, the child keeps growing despite the adults arguing about fault or responsibility. No. It just gives people a place to throw their frustration. Meanwhile, the child is still growing right in the middle of all that.
Every day, a child is becoming someone, with or without the support they need. Let's stay there for a second, because I think that is one of the deepest things in this whole discussion. The child does not stop developing because adults are still arguing about whose fault it is. The child does not stop forming identity because the family is stretched thin or because the school is overwhelmed. The child keeps becoming somebody.
So, who is helping and what are children carrying when they step into a room each day? That is strong. The child keeps becoming somebody, right now, every day.
Children carry fears, confusion, neglect, stress, things adults often can't see at first glance, every day.
Exactly. Notice how only the disruptive or loud get attention, while silent struggles go unseen. So let's go deeper. When we ask who is helping the child, we also have to ask, what is the child carrying?
That quiet, hurting child might be praised for being easy, but inwardly falling apart, yes. Because children do not walk into school empty. They do not walk into a room as blank slates. They are carrying stuff. They are carrying what happened at home. They are carrying what they heard. They are carrying what they did not understand. They are carrying fear, confusion, hunger, frustration, overstimulation, low sleep, all of that.
Adults prefer manageable kids, but manageable doesn't mean healthy or happy. And what is wild is that adults often only respond to what becomes visible. If the child is disruptive, then the child gets attention. If the child is failing, then the child gets attention. If the child is loud enough, then adults react. But what about the child who is slowly disappearing emotionally? What about the child who is carrying discouragement quietly? What about the child who is polite but hurting?
And those who act out get noticed but misunderstood, labeled difficult rather than helped. That is a big one. Because struggle is not always loud. Sometimes the child who is hurting the most is the one causing the least visible trouble.
Both kids, the quiet and the loud, carry pain that demands attention beyond surface behavior. Yes, and that child can get praised for being easy while silently falling apart.
Which brings us to the circle around the child framework. Child, family, school, community. That is a real thing. Adults love manageable children. Let's just tell the truth. A lot of adults love a child that does not interrupt the room, does not ask too much, does not make them uncomfortable, but manageable and healthy are not the same thing.
I love that. Visualizing it makes clear no child should grow up surrounded by just one adult, not even close. And then you have the child on the other side, the child who acts out, pushes back, gets labeled bad, difficult, disrespectful, impossible. That child is noticed but not always understood.
Right. When the circle is strong, issues get spotted early and addressed wisely, not too late. One child disappears quietly. One child gets reduced to their behavior. Both are carrying something. Both need attention. Both need someone who sees past the symptom.
But when the circle breaks down, kids feel gaps, acting out, shutting down, or just fading away. So let's talk about one of the core ideas we built this around, the circle around the child.
And some learn to perform okayness. They look fine but hide deep struggles inside. Yes, because I really think this gives people something concrete to hold on to instead of just emotion.
Let's dig into each part. The child isn't passive. They participate, learn to speak up, and grow. Exactly. The circle around the child is the four-part framework of child, family, school, and community working together to support healthy development, shared responsibility, and early attention.
True, but they can't carry the weight alone. They need adults involved consistently. And I love that because it names something people can actually picture. The child is not supposed to grow through one relationship alone, not one tired parent, not one overworked teacher, not one institution. The child needs a circle.
Families carry huge stressors, too often overlooked. Caregivers might be overwhelmed, not careless. Yes. And when that circle is strong, children are more likely to be seen earlier, supported sooner, corrected wisely, and guided before the struggle becomes identity. But when that circle is weak, fragmented, or missing key people, the child feels the gaps.
Exactly. Burnout, housing issues, grief, these weigh heavily. Absence is not always choice, and those gaps show up in different ways. Sometimes it shows up as acting out. Sometimes it shows up as shutdown. Sometimes it shows up as academic inconsistency. Sometimes it shows up as emotional hardness. Sometimes it shows up as a child who just stops trying.
Yet the child feels the absence regardless and knows if someone's really tracking their growth. Or a child who starts performing okayness.
Then schools step in, but teachers are burdened beyond teaching lessons. They're emotional lifelines. Yes, that too. The child who knows how to look fine. The child who knows how to say, I'm good, I'm okay, nothing's wrong, while carrying way more than adults realize.
Teachers juggle behavior management, trauma, social issues, and curriculum all at once. So let's walk through the circle a little bit. The child is at the center, but the child is not passive in this. The child still has a role.
They face effects of family struggles daily, often without enough support themselves, right? The child is still learning effort, voice, growth, participation, accountability. The child is not just being acted upon by the world, but the child also should not be expected to carry the whole weight of becoming by themselves.
No wonder many teachers feel exhausted or emotionally drained. It's a heavy load. Then you have family or caregivers. Their role is involvement, reinforcement, advocacy, attention, follow-through. But that is where the conversation gets complicated, because a lot of families are carrying way more than people see.
Kids pick up on adult energy, whether warmth or detachment changes how they learn and grow. Exactly. And this is where I think people get lazy. They will say parents just do not care. Sometimes that is true, but not always. Some caregivers care deeply and are overwhelmed. Some are working constantly. Some are carrying grief. Some are carrying burnout. Some are carrying housing pressure, transportation issues, job instability, or emotional exhaustion.
A caring teacher can transform a child's school experience completely, and that distinction matters. because absence by choice and absence by strain are not the same thing.
And detached teaching can alienate a child, deepening disconnect and distrust. They are not, but the child still feels the gap either way. That is the difficult truth. The child may not understand why the adult is unavailable. They just know whether someone is paying attention closely or not.
Now, community, the often missing piece. People ask for more adult involvement, but stay distant. Yes, the child just knows if their growth is being tracked, if someone is asking about school, if someone is noticing shifts, if someone is following up when something changes.
Right? The myth is child raising is private, but children are shaped publicly by culture and peers. And then you have the school. The school teaches, provides structure, notices patterns, coordinates support, and gives the child one of the biggest daily environments of development. But schools are carrying more than people admit to.
When community fails, other forces take over. Peer pressure, social media, harmful norms, a whole lot more. The teacher, especially. Let's stay with the teacher for a minute because that role has changed so much.
Community must be active support, mentors, tutoring, safe spaces, youth leaders, all engaged. Yes, people still talk about teachers like their job is basically teach the lesson, grade the papers, keep the room under control. That is not what the job looks like now in many classrooms.
That's why practical models like Saturday support programs matter. Schools and families can't do it alone. Not at all. Many teachers are emotional buffers now. They are behavior managers. They are documenting everything. They are de-escalating situations. They are navigating social conflict, trauma, attention issues, peer tension, curriculum pressure, compliance demands, all while trying to teach.
Saturday programs offer academic help and a safe relational space for belonging and attention, and trying to protect the room.
But structure is key. Good intentions aren't enough without safety and continuity. Yes, trying to protect the room. And here's what I think many people do not understand. The teacher is often carrying what the school did not create. The school did not create every family gap. The school did not create every emotional wound. The school did not create every trauma, every housing issue, every unstable environment. But the teacher often faces the daily effects of those things in the child.
Exactly. Children need trained adults, clear roles, and emotional safety, not just extra hours. That is real. And then people ask why teachers are tired, why some of them feel emotionally flat, why some of them are trying to survive the week. The answer is because the role has expanded into something far heavier than the public likes to admit.
Academic help sans emotional safety still leaves children discouraged or ashamed, and the emotional reality of teaching matters. Children feel adult energy. They feel care. They feel impatience. They feel when a teacher sees them. They feel when a teacher is only going through the motions.
Exactly. Being seen and respected is part of real learning. They need to feel more than their struggles. That one is important, because education is not only informational, it is relational. A child learns not just from the lesson, but from how it feels to be in that room.
Why then do adults sometimes write kids off too soon? Yes, a teacher who is warm, present, and believes in the child can change the whole tone of learning. A teacher who is emotionally absent changes it too.
Exhaustion, burnout, frustration, low expectations. Adults tire, kids repeat patterns. And we should be honest there. That is not about shaming teachers. Some teachers are burned out, some are under-supported, some are carrying personal strain. But children still experience the difference between invested teaching and detached teaching.
And children sense when adults stop believing in their potential. That's devastating. Exactly. That difference matters because children absorb whether they matter in the room. That affects trust, it affects effort, it affects self-image.
No child should be written off. Their identity and capacity are always evolving. So now let's bring in the fourth part of the circle: community.
Hope should be real, not sentimental. Change can be slow and complex, but worth it. Yes, because I think this is the part that gets ignored the most and then complained about the most.
Plus, effort has to be strategic, sustained, and collaborative, not just emotional. Absolutely. People will say kids need more mentoring, more accountability, more guidance, more healthy adult involvement. But then community often stays distant. It watches, it comments, it criticizes, but it does not always build.
Because kids who are given up on grow into adults shaped by those missed chances. And that is one reason the village feels missing. There are fewer trusted adults, less reinforcement, less visible shared responsibility, more isolation around child development. The home is carrying too much, the school is carrying too much, and the community is often caring from too far away.
Refusing to give up is both human and practical. It shapes futures deeply. And the myth is that child raising is private. It is not. Children are always being shaped publicly. If healthy community does not step in, then peer culture, public culture, digital culture, and disorder still will.
So what key message should listeners carry away? That is one of the strongest truths in this whole conversation. If community does not guide, culture still will.
Responsibility, not just agreement. Stop saying children need help and start acting. Yes. So community has to come back as active support. That can mean mentors. It can mean tutoring programs. It can mean after-school support, weekend reinforcement, nonprofits, neighborhood learning spaces, retired teachers, coaches, youth leaders, all of that.
We need stronger circles, not just more criticism around broken ones. And this is where I think people need something practical. Not just, we should care more. No, what can we actually build?
And every child needs somebody truly paying attention, steadily and early. Exactly. Which is why the Saturday support model matters.
That person could be anyone, a parent, mentor, coach. Title matters less than consistency. Yes, let's talk about that, because I think it is one of the most practical things in the whole book. The weekday is not enough for some children. Teachers are overloaded, parents are exhausted, children still need help. So why not create a structured Saturday morning model that includes tutoring, reading reinforcement, math reinforcement, mentoring, enrichment, and a safe social structure?
Exactly. Kids drift when nobody notices. Attention is protection. It stops invisibility. And that matters because it does not just help the child academically. It gives the child one more place to belong, one more place to be noticed, one more place to experience steady adults.
It tells the child you matter, long before things become urgent or obvious. Exactly. And it gives families support without pretending the school can do everything alone. It also gives nonprofits and community groups a real role to play, instead of just saying they care.
So the big question again, who is helping the child and who steps up next? But it has to be structured. That is important. Volunteer enthusiasm is not enough. Children need safety, continuity, training, adult accountability, and clear design. Good intentions without structure can still fail a child.
The child is already becoming someone. Will the circle around the child strengthen? That goes back to the whole point. Children need more caring adults, but not more unmanaged access. They need intentional support.
This is personal and collective. Who do we notice? What are we building together? And tutoring by itself is not enough either. A child also needs emotional safety, belonging, and confidence restoration. A child can get academic help and still remain ashamed, discouraged, or disconnected if the environment is not emotionally safe.
Our schools connected to nonprofits, our families supported, our teachers upheld. That line is important. Being seen is part of learning.
Our mentoring paths real. Our children known earlier and helped sooner. A child learns differently when they feel safe enough to ask. A child learns differently when they feel respected. A child learns differently when they believe they are more than their current struggle.
Because kids don't need just concern. They need circles strong enough to hold them. So let's go there. Why do adults write children off too soon?
Families, schools, communities, adult collaboration is essential for early consistent support. Repeated behavior, exhaustion, low expectations, burnout, institutional fatigue, emotional detachment. Adults get tired. The child keeps repeating patterns. The room gets worn out. The school gets worn out. The household gets worn out. And somewhere along the way, some adults stop believing that much can really change.
Thanks for joining us here on Constructive Talks today. Keep paying attention and building those circles. And children feel that too.
Thanks everyone for listening, and don't forget to like and subscribe to Constructive Talks and We Speak Forward YouTube channels. And remember, ask, who is helping the child? They absolutely do. They feel when adults stop seeing possibility in them. They feel when correction loses hope and turns into irritation. They feel when they are being tolerated instead of developed. And that can be devastating because children are still becoming. Their identity is still forming.